73% of Americans believe in the concept of a soulmate. Is America far from being a secular nation where church and state are separated, and in fact still a spiritual country where the very notion of spirituality has now been redesignated into the search for love? A chivalric idea, if I may say so, where the knights of old would look for love in human form, knowing though that it was an emblem of sublime divine love. What does it mean, a soulmate? That your soul is going to be connected? Where would you traditionally look for a connection for the soul? Why would you try to be absolved, resolved and redeemed through love when there is a more direct, truer route to redemption? And what does it do to you psychologically to believe that there is one perfect person out there? These ideas are constructs derived from a romantic tradition and, as I've said already, the chivalric tradition. It's not an organic idea. There are many cultures to this day that believe in arranged marriage, a practical approach to marriage. You're from this sort of background, you're from this sort of background, you've got these sort of needs, you've got these sort of needs. It'll be good for our families. Get together, work it out among yourselves. To the Western mind, this seems appalling. We believe so much in the individual, but God, how many marriages end in divorce? All of mine do. No, only half of mine do. So, like, the very idea of romantic love being a solution doesn't mean that it is somehow more essential, somehow more true. In my experience, a partnership, and let's not, forget that maybe the very notion of the nuclear family and a partnership might just be a contemporary construct that could be amended. Perhaps we ought to live in tribal units, polyamorous, who knows? It's certainly not something I'll be suggesting to my wife, but it's a possibility. The idea of the soulmate, I think, is a yearning for connection and love that people would have sought in previous times through a connection to nature or a higher power. And I would suggest that that is a more appropriate direction for that impulse to be guided along. Because if you make a person, a soulmate, a redeemer, your own, to quote the Depeche Mode, personal Jesus, what are you going to do when they ultimately get crucified? What are you ultimately going to do when they let you down? What is a soulmate really? What is relationship at all other than a reflection of yourself? Do you ever really know a person, or do you just know the aspects of them that you interact with? Have you not known someone for a long time and then discovered that they had a whole second life, a second wife, that you didn't really know that much about them at all? Of course you have. It happens every day. The idea of a soulmate is the materialization, the physicalization, the secularization, if I can use all these words, of an impulse that belongs in the realm of the sublime. All I mean by that is you can't epitomize it, you can't symbolize it, you have to live it. We can't continually look for objects of fulfillment, whether they're relationships or jobs or training shoes. What we have to look for instead is a new relationship with ourselves as beings who live in time, not beings who live in space. Not a solid object, but an ever-changing entity. If you are an ever-changing entity, if there is really no self, just an experiencer of data traveling through time, then how could there be a perfect one for you? Because there is no you. You are continually evolving, continually changing, continually remodeling and remaking yourself in experience, moment to moment. What is this need for a soulmate other than our inability to face the fact that divinity and beauty are available everywhere, but instead we choose to see limitation, fear, low systems? I don't blame you. How could I? Why would I? For living in a low-ceilinged world with low expectations, tangled in taxes and mortgages and rent, voting for political parties that can't ever help you. But I will say there is an alternative way to look at love, not as an arrow, but as a spiral, a circle, an ongoing thing which we are participating in. Instead of looking for a soulmate, be a mate to your own soul. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? I'm getting good at these, aren't I? Come on, come on. That could go straight on a mug, couldn't it? Instead of looking for a soulmate, be a mate to your own soul. That we can be knocking them out in the website in no time at all. What I'm saying is that all things are possible within your own consciousness, and if you practice certain things spiritually, you will find that you don't need to look externally for anything. Least of all, using cultural tropes such as the soulmate to fulfill timeless yearnings. the yearning for union, the yearning for connection, the yearning for oneness that seems to be present in all of us. What is this reaching out? What are we looking for really? Who are we trying to become? So when we talk about soulmates, really what we're saying is I want to feel connected. And when you're in relationship, my experience is find someone that you can embark on the project of being alive in the material world, knowing that you're both going to die and everyone you love going to die and the Armageddon is coming, and that you can handle that with. That might be more helpful criteria rather than some whimsical claptrap you've dragged out of Bridget Jones or Byron or wherever you get your romance from, because really love and oneness is for all people, not for one individual person. Hello, I'm doing these new videos more frequently now. Please hit the notification button at the end of this video, because then you'll get like a little bell when I post a new video, and I'd like you to get a little bell when I post a video. Then I can, I don't know, be buzzing away in your pocket. Sounds like I'd be like a little pocket mosquito. Anyway, subscribe, click the bell, because I want more people to watch the YouTube videos. You specifically.